Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are back with our Lemuria Let's Play. And it is turn 13, which means it is the start of a new year. And we have a few battles, so this is expanding into what is a very difficult indie province, especially when you're relying on fear to rout your enemy, because there's Vinemen, which basically don't rout. But we have our quickened Itimu, who is a huge badass, and he is getting lots of experience stars. He already has 2. We will have 3 in not too long. And so far it seems to be working. Great, we're at 30 HP. They do have a priest here who's banishing us. Though we are not taking much of any damage, and we successfully kill everyone. Yeah, you don't do much better than this with an Awake God. Like, an Awake God, you would be a little cautious about attacking this province. But even if he dies, he's immortal. We took this with no resistance, so we didn't even put PD in it. We have a few battles here. Let's see what we got. Here's Ryla trying to take this province back. So this is his god, which he's moving a bunch of stuff in. He's also got these meteorite guards who have magic weapons, so I don't really want to fight those en masse with ghosts. Those deserve respect. And then he's got his god who cast Iron Skin, which means, yeah. Gonna be a little tricky to kill. And yeah, so we lost that, and then we have this battle, which is taking this back from the wolves. Appear to be successful. And then this is Ryla, I think, trying to attack me here. And I do have some PD here, so this PD is ultimately a loss. Okay. So we've lost a lot of the stuff we raided back. And let's check out diplomacy too before I forget. I sent a message to Caleb saying, while we share a large neighbor, you aren't really an ideal target for me for somewhat obvious reasons. The obvious reasons here is flying and magic weapons. I expect that my income-stripped lands are not particularly appetizing to you either. I had kind of crappy expansion due to Ryla getting all up in my shitty little island, so I'd be interested in cooperating in a war with you since I could use a few more provinces. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. And that was essentially all true, except, well, Ryla, he was making landfall up here, which I was not very happy with. But it was definitely a war I aggressed. Ryla wanted peace. Anyway, I need space. Ryla and I are put super close together. So yeah. And don't think that later Ryla wouldn't set his own little eyes on the island. Okay, so we seem to be successful there. Up here. And we're going to continue and try to push our luck this way. There's a cockatrice, which is not great. But anyway, we're going to try to take this. The other thing, he's probably going to attack here. I could move this guy here. If we look at the army composition here... Yeah, actually, we would probably wreck these guys. The only problem is the nets. These nets are going to make me get hit a lot more. So you have to be really careful sending thugs in against nets. Anyway, we're actually going to go attack this. This guy is going to move here. We're going to pick up more troops. Who's coming here? Okay, we're sending in another group from this fort to go here and attack these guys. Hopefully we're successful. We certainly have the tools to beat them. And then we're going to go run in here and try to take these guys. And there's a good chance we can do that. Yeah. So that is the plan for this turn. In terms of research, we're just going up evocation. The goal here is to get Shadow Blast. Evocation 3 gave me Magic Duel. But importantly, Evocation 5 is going to give me Shadow Blast. And then if I wanted to, once I also go up Thaumaturgy, I will have Mind Hunt at level 6, and later in the game I could potentially cast Wrath of God. Netherbolts are also something my nation can cast. One of them is not... Netherbolt is not great, but Nether Darts is actually pretty damn good. 15, which can do Feeble Minding. Not bad. Especially if I could hit Rylus God with it. So that is the plan. Basically, we're going to refocus on land expansion. And, yeah. I'm going to also think about raiding again. Like, these guys, I'm moving here. I should have moved these guys here. And I think, this part I'm not totally sure on, Ryla is suing for peace. Because he knows he's not going to get on land. And to any good effect. And he doesn't want me raiding his provinces in the ocean. And because I have lots of forts, and he doesn't, then he's way more vulnerable to raiding than I am. So we'll see. We'll see if that comes up in in-game diplomacy, but it's definitely something that we're going to negotiate over the next few turns. In terms of events, okay, that's no event, no event, and then yeah, this completed, and we obviously didn't have a battle here. So we're going to be building a temple, and we're going to be searching with both. Actually, I don't know. Okay, she's searching just for the holy search. Because occasionally you'll find an ancient temple, which will give us astral income. So anyway, we're going to do that and cross our fingers, hope that works. And that is it for this turn, which I believe was turn, what, 14? Is that turn 14? Nope, this is turn 14. So this is the next turn. This is our battle... we're pinging the throne. So let's see what we have here. We have Astral Mages, which normally you would see these guys and you'd be like, oh, this is going to be a really easy battle. But if you're Lemuria, you see Astral Mages and Astral Death Mages and you shit your pants. So this will be tough. They can just Mind Burn or Stellar Fires or Solar Rays my guys. And especially like my thugs. Gotta be careful. This is the Vineman province. I could totally lose this. He does have blood magic. Casting Blood Rain, that doesn't do anything against me. Okay, here comes the Cockatrice. She has Petrifying Glaze, or Gaze. I can't talk. Petrifying Gas, which is a beam which will cause petrification. Which, yeah, you don't want that to happen to you. Okay. We seem to have routed their troops. I think some of these guys are fatigued out. No? What's going on here? They're not fatigued out and they're not running. Oh well. So, as you can see, we clearly won the battle, and then there's the bug where, in fact, we didn't win. Instead, we died. So we're killing all their stuff. All their stuff is dead. The battle's over. Right, and then we checked the battlefield report, and every single one of their guys died. Except for one Bloodhinged Druid. And then my guy died. So, very, very strange. I don't know what's going on. It's hard to even imagine how this, like... This guy solo killed my, my dude, but this is what it says happened. So it must be right. Anyway, we can send somebody in, like, next turn, or this turn to take it. We're gonna send in, well, I'll show you that in a second. Last battle, Well, it's not last, but... Heavy cav are something that scares a lot of nations. You have to worry about them if you're sending in like 2 Centurions, because they will kill them. But if you have enough ghosts in the front, you're usually okay. Okay, and they managed to rout me, which is unfortunate because... and this is, again, the battlefield report wasn't right. It shows us killing them, even though in the... Or I guess the in-game footage wasn't correct, because in the in-game footage we lost, but in the battlefield report we won. So that's annoying. And then Calum attacks the same province with some Tramplers. And Tramplers aren't really great versus Ethereal, but 10 Tramplers are. Yeah. And I think I skipped this one. This is a battle in the sea, Lemuria, or them attacking me here. I just have 1 PD. Okay, and then the events, wait, 30 resources, unrest, nothing happened. Okay. And then we had some events, or some fortresses complete. I think this was the one that popped up. So these are all templed. This is templed, this is templed, this is templed, this is templed. And fortunately we get death gems from that, so we're up to 5 death gems a month from temples. We start off with 1. Our Dominion strength is 8, which means we can, the next 3 temples will still give us more death gems. We're building another fortress here. I started that a turn or 2 ago. And I want to put a fortress here, but it neighbors Midgard, and I can't even tell if he has troops there, and I don't trust them. So we're going to hold off. And, oh, was there a battle here? Okay, they caused a rout here. So we routed, yeah, we're gonna go back and try to take it. I think we routed some of their dudes too, and so there's really nobody left to defend. And yeah, okay, so I think we had negotiated a treaty in the offline chat, and the treaty terms were such as this. I get to keep these 2, but he gets the whole rest of the lake. And he cannot build a temple here, because I don't want his insanity shit leaching into my territories. But he can fort them or do whatever else he wants, just no temple. So those are the terms. Otherwise, I'm going to send my Itimu in there without fail for like 50 turns. Which nobody wants this guy coming in raiding some random province of yours every turn for forever. And I think that is it. So we're going to send this guy in here, just see what happens. He'll probably die to these astral dudes, but yeah, that's probably okay. And I think that's it. This is kind of our last expansion option right here, and then we're sending another group in to kill this druid. And then we're kind of done, and we're pinned into this shitty little island, which is why I hate island starts. Now you could argue I might have been able to get more of this if I hadn't done this Ryland War. But this Ryland War gave me these 2 provinces, and if I'm gonna have this island, I really want these 2. So, yeah. And I could have potentially taken these or held them for a couple turns. I don't know. I feel like Midgard would probably attack me, but we'll see. Not a great early expansion. Some of it's my fault, and then some of it is starting where I did. So that was that turn, and I think we are on now to, what, turn 15? Could it be 15 already? I think so. So a message from Calum. Indeed, your barren lands will become not desirable in the near future, and certainly not appealing for my nation. As for the initial war targets, I hadn't made much thought of who I would fight. Yeah, so that's not much there. Okay, so this is taking the forest again. Not gonna watch that. Suffice it to say he dies. I think this is just a scout watching a battle. Now the guys he's recruiting are not the guys with... Okay, some of them are. So these are the Spirehorns, the ones with the darker wings, and they have magic lances, which will kill my ghosts pretty damn good. He also summoned air elementals, which might be a little overkill. What else? We have this battle here. This is in the throne. We'll see how this goes. Okay, he's mind-burning the shit out of me. That's not good. Yeah, okay. Rip. Probably a bad idea, but whatever. You can respawn the same turn. Think of it like pinging. I pinged the throne province, but yeah, I'm gonna need to go in there with much heavier gear to take it. So this is Midgard. Let's check out his bless. He's got attack 2, magic weapons, decay weapons, defense skill, magic resistance +1, HP +3, strength +2, blood surge, combat speed. All these are... so he probably has an imprisoned pretender, because all these are non-incarnate blesses. And that makes them pretty terrifying for ghosts, because once they're blessed, they do 16 damage, with magic weapons, so I don't get to dodge it. They have really high attack, 16, so they're probably like going to hit me every single time they swing. They have blood surge, which means they're going to be harder to hit and reinvigorate. They move really fast, so they can flank my armies. Yeah. And then they have, +2 defense. So their defense is 23, which means I'm going to have a hard time hitting them to pop Glamour. So all in all, not very excited about that. We'll see. Okay, there's only one indie there, thanks to me softening that province up for him. And then I attack him with a very small army, and I don't have to even guess how this is going to go. Magic weapon vans versus like 6 guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we got some astral pearls. That's nice. We have more income. And my cap, which I always like. And our commander is back. He's not even afflicted after having died like 5 times now. Not sure what to do now. So I can probably... I think I want to get these throne provinces. And... then, I don't know, I need to get bigger. There's like maybe like 6 more turns where Lemuria is strong, and then you usually need a turtle until you have better research, but I might just skip that and go straight into turtling. We'll see. You really don't want to be this small with Lemuria. So these guys are going to come back. This guy's going to just hang tight and research for a minute. I think we're going to plan to take this throne. So we're going to gather up a big bunch of troops, and then we'll take it. And that's basically it. So I told them that, yeah, either Utgard or Midgard could be a target. They both have really strong early games, with Midgard relying on Sacreds and Utgard looks like more strongly relying on Scales. So I say it's unfortunate that our tiny party bumped into you. That had been a very well-defended province that we barely didn't manage to take. And then I tell him our expansion hasn't been great, but it hasn't been horrible. And then I assume he doesn't have any particular interest in our barren lands, and that indeed he seems to be big. If you have thoughts of an early war, share them with us, and we'll be happy to engage. Yeah. Oh, I say Utgardians, but it should be Midgardians. Okay. So that's it. We're basically hanging tight. You can see we have a fair amount of acolytes. That's because I've been getting an acolyte almost every turn now. And I'm trying to hit Evocation 5. And what Evocation 5 will do is, especially with my god, who has a really high death casting of Shadow Blast, you get more damage and more area of effect, the higher your death path, and you also get a magic penetration bonus, which doesn't really show up. But what this will do is if somebody tries to siege one of my forts with a big army, Shadow Blast is not very good versus small armies, but it's really good against big armies. So this will allow me to really soften them up with that spell. In terms of forts, we're building a palisade here. I feel comfortable building it now because I have a treaty with Ryla. And we are also we have this fort here. It's got 1 turn left. I'm going to be moving this guy here. I think this will probably be my next fort. And then this one will probably be like the fort after. Or this one, I'm not sure. Yeah. So that is that. And I think that's the end of this episode. So we kind of reached a completion point where our expansion is finished, the Rylan War has come to an end, and we are getting some of our infrastructure up and hoping to kind of maybe be a little more low-key until we get this whole island forted. And once we have that, because like we're not going to expand easily into Midgard, not with those magic weapon vans. And Utgard has really good astral mages, and those will be coming online pretty soon, so they are not a target. Ryla we've called a peace with, though in a year or two they might be a target. And Calum, yeah, they're kind of my arch nemesis in terms of, like, they strategically counter me. So I'm trying to be really nice to them, and I don't want them to attack me. There's not much reason for them to. Calum is a nation that needs a lot of gold to fuel all their mages. So they couldn't do very much with taking my stuff. And they probably don't want to fight this Wraithlord every turn, because even though they have ethereal piercing weapons, or magic weapons, he would still just slaughter these birds until they get Thunderstrike or something. So... And even then, I have air on my Pretender. I could alchemize gems into air and then forge, something with shock resistance, and they really couldn't kill him. So, anyway, that is the state of the game, and hope you guys tune in to the next episode. Take care.